Well, I got to the end. This is the end of the 13th, which is the end of I was September 41, 4 weeks in September. So I've played 13 rounds, so I managed to get the game finished. I'll tidy it up in a few minutes to get ready for the next game tomorrow. Yeah, just recapping what's happened in the last, I think, 3 rounds since I did the last one. The Axis have really started to break through, to be honest, and they're really on their way now. Down here, they've got Odessa armour got through the lines, and these Soviet armies have been pulling back from down here, and the Romanians are just keeping them all bottled up. But yeah, the armour's broken through, and well, just flooding through, and there's still the Soviet line here, but they got through here, and they got round there. Remember, the Soviets had the last turn, so they have like blocked some stuff up, but that's a very strong tank corps army there, and there's 2 of them have got through, and they'll be out of supply. But the thing is, they'll come around in the German term. If there was going to be one, they just come around the back, I think, and take these guys out. And then really the Soviets are starting to run out of stuff. So yeah, and up in the north, the Germans are still sort of nothing happening up there, but here they're gradually getting through. But I think the Soviets had a lot more armies up in the north. I put a lot more there, and of course, because of the breakthroughs in the south, all these guys here on the edge of the marshes are now untenable, so they really need to start pulling back, which I didn't bother doing the last turn of the Soviets, the 13th turn. I didn't bother doing the after combat movements. I did a couple, but then there's no point. But if the game is going to continue into the longer campaign, then they would have started to pull back to try and just like reform the line and start working out how they can protect the major Soviet cities. So it was a decisive victory to the Soviets, because the Allies, or the Axis, got 5 Soviet victory points. They were looking for at least 9 or 10 to have a draw. So, and the actual World War II, they got 9. So but this was just a playthrough, and on the first couple of turns, I'm not sure I played the Soviets right. I actually think I was putting down the reduced side of those, skipping the smallest step, because of course they're 3-step units, and I think that benefited them. The other thing, if you remember, was in the early turns down in the south here, I messed up because I didn't know how to do it, the German supply centres, the command HQs, and so there was a long time before the German armies down here in the south were into supply and therefore could start attacking. But yeah, they took Odessa, Chisinau, I think that's called, and they took Kiev just in the last turn. Karnau or something like that, but they didn't get all the way up to Riga and places like that, and they didn't get to Smolensk or Minsk. Yeah, so lots of fun. Overall, yeah, good game. Comments, just when I read the rule book a few weeks ago, I just sort of skimmed through it, and I found it pretty heavy going because it doesn't really have a lot of explanations. But once you actually get, well, obviously I've done 13 turns now, but once you actually get into the flow of things, the fact that it doesn't have pages and pages of text and diagrams is quite good, because once you know the rules, you can just quickly look up the things you want. And certainly for the last half dozen turns, I didn't really refer to the rules at all. The player cards are good. These things are now self-explanatory. It's a bit messy. The air just flowed. It's quite a simple mechanic. I quite like it. Yeah, the Germans were attacking every turn with combat air missions, combat airstrike, and the Soviets were really just trying to repair their fighters and just trying to disrupt those as much as possible. I would reread the rules to do with the fleet and the breaking up and what have you, but I think I've got them now, how things break down and break up, or can be made up. And yeah, and the combat and what have you and the turns are really quite quick. There is a card that you follow every turn. I'll just use this little protractor on it to keep track of it. And of course, you're not doing these bits or the yellow bits, you know, all these brown bits. They're all extras, and it's quite easy to follow the card. So I was quite pleased with that. You just like keep it there and just refer to it. Just keeps you on track. And towards the end, it's, you know, you really don't need it at all. So yeah, no, I'm really enjoyed that. I think it's good. Once I got into the flow, it was good. I think I'll probably play this scenario again to have a proper game of this scenario. Probably one-on-one, because I doubt I'll get any opponent for this anytime soon. And to see whether the Germans can do a little bit better. The cards are quite good. I quite like the cards. Last little thoughts. I'm not sure I did them terribly well. But again, in the next game, I will play the cards and see how they go. And in the next game, I won't bother with this extra mat over here. I wasn't sure what it would entail. But I must admit, having done that, I'll do Barbarossa again. But I'm also quite looking forward to the idea of maybe playing 2 of the scenarios in a row. So rather than stopping here at turn 13, keeping on going. Yeah, and one day, who knows, maybe I'll even play the whole lot in one go. So that's Thunder in the East. And yeah, it gets a tick from me.